Hi, I'm Bob Trask. Welcome to our weekly reset. Question: what is peace? What is peace to you? What does it mean? Like it's a word, People bandy that word around. We're going to have world peace, or we're going to have peace in our time, or whatever. But what is it? What does it actually mean? What is the meaning of peace to you? I mean, if you're in a family where there's a lot of chaos, or you're in a job where there's a lot of chaos, or maybe there's some bitter people and they say bitter things, or they talk about bitter things, and it's difficult for you to find peace in that. What is it that you can't find? What is it that you want? Because if we can't identify it, then I don't think we can have it. So can we identify it? Can we actually know what it is? Like for many, many years, I've been noticing and doing some work about world peace, and people talking about wars, and and the attitude has always been that when the war ends, we'll have peace. But of course, that isn't true, because peace is not the absence of war, and it's not the absence of anything. And if you're in a situation where there's lack of peace, if there's kind of a craziness going on in your life, or craziness going on in your community, whether it's at home or work, or wherever, and you think that maybe if that goes away, there'll be peace. It doesn't work that way. It just plain doesn't work that way. We can't find peace in absence, because peace is not absence. Peace is not the lack of something. Peace is something. It is something. Like a mountain or a tree or a rock. It's something. And we've always thought about it, and we've been taught to think about it as the absence. When the fighting stops, there'll be peace. When the arguing stops, there'll be peace. I'm familiar with a family in which a man and a woman spend so much of their time screaming at each other, and their daughter locks herself in a room. And eventually she got used to it. And so she just sort of says, that they're screaming at each other. And then she goes inside and screams at herself internally. So there is no peace anywhere around in that family. And should they all stop screaming, there would not be peace. So how do you and I find peace then? How do we find that? I think I think there's a lake inside of you, like a peaceful, beautiful lake with cattails around the side, and the water is so smooth, it's like a mirror, and it mirrors the mountains on the other side. And there's a breath of soft summer breeze. And as you sit next to that lake, you're breathing in that breeze, and breathing in the lake, and breathing in the mountains and the sky, and those giant, beautiful white rolling clouds coming up behind the mountains, and the deep blue sky. And there's no place you're supposed to be, and there's nothing you're supposed to do. It doesn't, nothing matters. You're comfortable where you're sitting, you're completely comfortable, and you have a little sack lunch there with the things you like in it, and you have a little drink, and you're just sitting by your lake. What are you feeling? I got to tell you, I could ask that question to a whole lot of people, and I'd get a whole lot of different answers, and some of them would be non-answers, because they don't know what they're feeling. They're so unfamiliar with that thing that we call peace that they wouldn't recognize it if it came along and sat with them. So the thing we have to realize is that peace is that lake inside of us. Peace is the meadow inside of us. Peace is the rolling hills and the soft wind. Peace is the presence of creation. The presence of creation within you, within me. And we get so busy in our minds, then we're darting around like hungry rats trying to find something, whatever it is, and got to do this and do that and be here. And even when we're at rest, our minds are going da 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 da, and we're having all of these, looking at all these little home movies inside of our minds about what if I said this and what if I said that, or what if I did, or well, I've got to watch out for this. Oh my God, I'm going to be late if I don't. And it's all, we do all of that to cover up the fact that there's an unrest deep inside of us, and that unrest is a lack of presence, the presence of creation. And we can think about that like God if you want to. I mean that's not my God, but some people have God as this guy in the sky with long, beautiful robes and a beard and long hair, and that's cool. That's but my God's not a guy in the sky or a woman in the sky. It's the presence, the divine presence. And that divine presence is available all the time. It's the foundation of who we are. See these bodies, this body, these hands, this heart, lung, liver, all of this stuff, all of this is just a temporary a vehicle for me. It's temporary. It's just, it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's just amazing how well it works. But I've seen a lot of death in my life, and I can tell you when it stops working, it stops working altogether. And that doesn't mean that you stop working, because you are that presence. You're one with that presence. No, I know I'm just saying words. These are just words. That's what we do. We communicate in words, and then when the words come in, we look at those through our filters, the filters of our belief systems, our opinions, our memories. We look at those words and we see which ones we accept, and we stick those in a little library, and we toss the rest of them out. They're just words. So could we get beyond words? Like if I was capable through this format of playing you beautiful music, there's some music I could play that's the instrumental Nessun Dorma from the opera Turandot. It's the Swan, played by cello. These are the expressions of peace. Van Gogh's Starry Night and Sunflowers, and Monet's beautiful pictures of picnics and Sunday afternoons. They're all painting peace. They're all reaching inside of them and finding that platform I'm talking about and bringing it into expression. It's the great presence. It's the presence of all. It's the presence of everything. John Lennon from the Beatles, great poet, absolutely great mind, great philosopher, said peace is not something you wish for. It's something you make, something you do, something you are, something you give away. How do you give that away, John? See, the thing is that if I am peace, then it radiates out from me and other people get it. Then that's giving it away. We human beings have almost unlimited possibilities. We can be or do or have anything we can imagine. But that's the key, isn't it? That's the key, imagining. It's our ability, our incredible, almost limitless ability to create, to form structures. We usually don't know how we do it. We just do it. Here's an example. You send a text message to a friend and wait for a reply. And while you're waiting, can you just take a minute and consider what you just did? That text, that message that you put together with your mind and formed it from an eternal anxiety of purpose, you turned it into words, and you put those words together and you sent them out to a friend. You created. That was presence. Now, if that friend gets that message, will that message be, oh my God, we gotta go, oh my God, or will it be peace? Will you have communicated who you are, bottom line? I'm not, I mean, wait a minute. If you get in the crazy idea that I'm talking about, we should all go up on a mountain somewhere and live in a cave and just sit on a rock and meditate all day. I'm not. I'm saying let's stay in the fight. Let's stay on the field. Let's get the ball kicking. Let's get going. Let's live our lives fully. But let's always remember that beneath that activity is a presence. And that presence is who you are. So it doesn't make any difference whether you create cookies or a poem or a business or a book. Doesn't make any difference. That the sense of who you are, the delicate, beautiful person that you are comes through with that. And here's the interesting thing: like there's been 100,000 of us, 100,000 of us so far on this planet. You know how many that is? Oh, wait a minute. Did I say 100,000? I meant 100 billion so far on this planet. There's been 100 billion of us so far on this planet, and there's 8 billion more of us now on this planet. And of all those people, 108 billion, there's never been anyone that has that presence inside like yours. Yours is so unique, so different, and so beautiful. So beautiful. And it's like, and you're like a piece in a puzzle. If you don't be who you are and really let that presence be you, that piece be you, then you can't fit together with the rest of society. You can't fit together with the mountains or the ocean or the eagle or the rabbit or the flowers in the garden or each other. You can't because you're off base, you're out of line. But if you form that sense of presence that you are, that piece that you are, then you fold together into the rest of life. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And that's what you're supposed to be doing here. We're not supposed to be here fighting. We're not supposed to be here with these giant, enormous problems that we can't get through. That's not what we're here for. We're here to grow. But when I say grow, I don't mean grow intellectually. We're here to expand in consciousness, in oneness, in presence, through experiences. And then in the expression of those experiences comes that creative presence, the piece coming out and creating and expressing itself. So the question really simply is, do you want peace? Do I want peace? Or is this other stuff more important? Is it so important for us to find out what Putin's doing or what Netanyahu's doing or what Trump's doing or what someone else is doing? Or will they create peace here? Or will they create peace there? You know what? God, I want all the wars in the world to end. Oh boy, do I ever want them all to end. But I can't do anything about that. What I can do is start a forest fire. I can take a match and light the dry tinder that's around me. That dry tinder being the need within people to feel the presence of who they are, to feel that. Like it's like being so thirsty and finally having a drink, and that goes inside of you and fills your cells, and you feel well again. That's what that peace is like. So when I get that, when I'm actually feeling that peace, when I'm actually one with my universe, with the trees and the stars and the clouds and the earth and the bunny rabbits and the deer and the eagles and the blackbirds, when I'm one with all of that, one with all of it, then I'm flowing with nature. And nature has a capital N because nature is God. The creator is the created, and the created is the creator. And you are the created, and you are the creator, and you have within you the presence of peace that you can radiate out into the world. Radiate it out into your world by being it, and not by trying to figure out how to articulate or express it, but by being it. Peace, the presence, the great presence. If we don't do that, then there's really no reason for us to be here. There's no reason for us to be on this planet. And it doesn't make any difference how difficult situations are. There's still we still have the ability to get back to our foundation. We still have the ability to do that. At this minute, at this moment, we're looking at how we create anything, and asking if our individual consciousness, our spiritual beingnesses can bring harmony into life. And if you can bring harmony into life, then all creation flows with that. All creation flows with that harmony, which is another word for peace. But we have to imagine it. We have to be willing to imagine it and then to express it. A.J. Muste said, "There is no way to peace. Peace is the way. There is no way to peace. Peace is the way." So we can't say, once I get this handled or get that handled or get this put to bed or get this handled, then I can come into a peace. I can take a deep breath and go, "Whew, at last I'm at peace." No, you're not. Because peace isn't the result. Peace is the cause. Peace is the way. Peace is what makes all those crazy things come together in harmony. So we have to take charge of our minds, don't we? We have to take charge of our imaginations. Otherwise, we get lost. We stop looking at challenges as our individual steps to higher consciousness, which they are. These challenges. Think of one right now that you're really dealing with that seems to be really profound. And I can tell you that that's a step to your higher consciousness. If you look at it from a place of peace. Mary and I are working a puzzle now. We love puzzles. So we've got this puzzle laid out, and it's a really difficult puzzle. And we've got it laid out on the table. And little by little, we're putting the pieces together. But we were looking this morning, and there's a piece that we can see what color it is, and we can see the formation of it. But we look around on the table, and it's not there. We look and look and look. Both of us are looking, and we can't find it. So we go piece by piece by piece, and we just don't see it. But you know what? We've learned something over the years. It's there. It's there. And the answer to the problem that you're facing right now, your challenge, I don't care what it is, the piece is there. The answer is there. The solution to the problem came in the same package that the problem came in. And we're just not seeing it. And the reason we're not seeing it isn't because it isn't there, it's because we're not looking correctly. We're coming from a state of craziness, of agitation, of being upside down and backwards and trying to find out something that makes sense. Nothing's going to make sense. The peace isn't going to be there until we're at peace. So peace is not the absence of something. Peace isn't what's going to happen if the war goes away. Again, Mushti's words, there is no way to peace. Peace is the way. And if we can just learn to be peace, then it will guide us. And we'll be constantly expanding in clarity. Expanding in clarity. Seeing more clearly all the options that are open to us. And expanding in courage. Because courage isn't that, oh my God, I'm terrified, but maybe I can overcome it. Courage is rising to meet the to meet the situation. Courage is rising up and saying, I got this. I got this. It's expanding one's self in peace. And from that comes confidence, growing confidence, greater, more solid, more beautiful lake of peace within me, within you. And that beautiful peace that's then dwelling within you as you can feel it in all of the cells of your body, and you can feel yourself being surrounded. Right now, if you want to, feel yourself being surrounded like all around you, like a warm blanket, like a soft fog of peace that's always, always there. Question is, are we always here? It's my question to me too. Am I always here? Am I always available? Or is my little ego so busy that I have to just keep running around in circles and trying to do this and trying to do that and make sure I do that? And what if people think about, but what if I did that? Then what'll he think and what'll he say? And stop, just stop. Just stop. You don't have to do all of that stuff up here in this mind. When you're at peace, you can feel the reality of the world and flow with it in harmony from your heart. So today I'm asking that we come back to center, back to who we really are, back to peace. I'm asking that we remember our spiritual guidance system. That when you're driving your car and you put the GPS on, then you don't have to think anymore, it just guides you. You have that same guidance system within you. It's a spiritual guidance system. And if we don't use it, then we're lost and we're constantly making wrong turns and trying to figure it out. And then making mistakes and trying to figure it out. We're like rats in a cage, fighting to get ours, to get ours, to get ours. Everything is conflict, everything is competition. And there are no solutions in that thinking. And then we fall into the darkness of thinking. No one knows we're even alive. We get to thinking, no one even knows I'm really alive. I know that I've been there. Here's the cure for that, incidentally. If you think no one even knows you're alive, try missing 2 car payments. And then you'll find out that, by golly, people do know I'm alive. So let's stop thinking about government or international conflicts, because there's little we can do about them. Today we're remembering the divine beings we are, the divine beings we are. And we're flowing into an expanding consciousness, an ever expanding consciousness of peace and assurance that good always wins. And good Good is, that's the peace we're talking about today. And it's in you, and it's in me, and it always wins, but it has to come out and play. It can't get buried under all of this gotta be, do, have nonsense. It's got to be allowed to come out and play. In his book, Be Here Now, Ram Dass, that so long ago wrote that book. It was so revolutionary. Ram Dass said in Be Here Now, you have to be right here in this place because this is the only place there is. And this is peace. All the rest of it is a game. All the rest of it is a game. And it's a good game. It's a game we're signed up and it's a game we're uniformed up for and we're going to play. It's a game. We like the game. But the game is a losing game if I come onto the field without my proper stuff on. And my proper stuff is an attitude of peace. Knowing who I am. Knowing who you are. So today I want you to go forward and know who you are. We sometimes become so engrossed in our failures and our mistakes that we think that's who we are. That's not who we are. You want something at what you won't habitually fail at? Here's something that you won't fail at more than once: skydiving. But you didn't do that. You didn't take skydiving because, see, and maybe you did, maybe you are a skydiver. But the thing of it is that we treat every single day like we're skydiving. Oh gosh, if I don't do this, it's going to be the end of the world. Oh my gosh, if I can't get this solved, oh, then what'll happen? Oh, then it'll cost a lot of money, or this person will be mad at me, or I will fail, or so what? So what? So what? In peace, that doesn't matter. We just go on. And when we feel we're stretched to the breaking point, can we just remain conscious? Can we just remain who we really are? Can we go through life's ups and downs without becoming the events? Can we go through those experiences without being the experience? By sitting on the side and looking at that experience and saying, that's fascinating. That'll be a good growth program for me. Without being it, without being the agony and the ecstasy, because you're not your experiences and I'm not my experiences. I can ride a horse all day long, but I'm not the horse. And you can have your experiences, but you're not your experiences. Viktor Frankl, oh, what an amazing man. Went through the Holocaust, was I don't remember whether it was in Dachau or Auschwitz, one of those terrible internment camps, and watching people die, watching people starve, and himself just a rack of bones, and having the challenge every single day of, can I stay alive? Can I help this or that person stay alive? And watching the brutality of the guards and those people who were over them. And yet, what he was constantly doing is saying, what's meaning? What is my meaning here? What is my meaning? He was in a place of peace. He found that peace. And afterwards, he said, when we're no longer to change the situation, we're challenged to change ourselves. We can no longer change the situation. We're challenged to change ourselves. So we need to be grateful, don't we? Because that's the key to that peace, is to be gratitude for it is the way it is. Your life is the way it is. And it's the way. It is the way. You want it to change? Then stop pushing. Back off and be peace and let it unlock itself and flow forward. Speaking of unlocking, Melody Beattie said, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. We're talking about peace. She said it turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. You and I have this one thing in common, my dear friend. We are both the creation, and we are both the creator. And everything that we're here to do in this lifetime is available for us only when we are who we came here to be. We can't have this disguise on of being someone else. We have to be who we are, and that's peace. Peace. So go now in peace and know that you're loved, and know that you're blessed, and know that you're safe, and to know that you're free. And as you go forward, will you please stop by my website and make a donation so that you and I can continue to do this work together. Thank you. Peace on you and those you love.